So today I'm going to be going over some of the work I've been doing here at Rusty Nail Media over the last few months. So first off, the presentation that you see here off to the right, I went ahead and built that in PowerPoint, but that was a big part of this was building out a presentation template that I'd be able to use for my future videos. Next up, when it comes to the dovetail pole, I've been doing a lot of modifications on my end, but where I left it off was I had two functional handles. I felt like the pull mechanism itself was working really great. And then I just started to dig into the final attachments, the utility part of the pull before I had to put it down and start pivoting over taxes this new year. When it comes to the Voronoi vase that I released a few months ago, we're still getting a lot of positivity. We're getting 5 stars primarily from all of our community members that have downloaded that, have tried it out. It seems like people are really appreciating that addition. You can actually print those vases out and then sell them as long as you're our Patreon member. And that is only, once again, $5 a month at the current tier. With the help of Robin963, I was able to determine that there were potential concerns with doing silk prints. You do have to use slightly different heat settings to make silk PLA and all these other filaments work. But that is something you should know about ahead of time if you're trying to do more complex prints. When it comes to Patreon, this was a very new initiative on my end. I didn't actually expect anyone to start becoming members as quickly as they have. So my goal going forward is going to start understanding a little bit more about Patreon, understanding what users or the community members are looking for to be able to add more value. Another big effort on my end was starting to roll out social media platforms. After a few weeks of doing this work, I found out that wasn't the best plan. So I ended up backpedaling. I'm now using an application called Planable for being able to manage my updates, manage my releases of the social media. I'm really just trying to get a better understanding of social media as a whole, what's the best way to present content. And I just want to get into the habit of doing weekly posts for now, when I really just want to focus on content and providing guidance and providing mentorship to everyone in my community. My focus is really going to be on the technical standards of building content at scale. This is what studios are looking for. This is what leads are looking for. This is how you work with a larger team and make sure you're as valuable of a team member as possible. I just want to take a quick break here to introduce you guys to Tofu. Tofu is our little terrier buddy. So if you ever hear barking in the background, more than likely it's this little fella causing trouble. So try not to get too distracted as I make these videos in the future because he wants attention all the time. So now let's pivot over to another thing I'm going to be working on, and that is software tool development. I have a background in art direction, technical art direction, and really spearheading building tools for artists that help them work at scale, to help them build content faster. So some of the tools I'm going to be working on in the coming future are for Substance Designer, Painter, and Sampler. Have you ever had situations where you're like, hey, I just want to have a way of being able to predictably unify my roughness values for other assets? You're not the only one, and teams have this issue all the time. So right now I'm working on a roughness catalog filter for these applications to be able to build content more consistently. Other things I'll be looking into are displacement map filters, metallic map builders, opacity map builders, non-destructive workflows, and much, much more. So for Patreon members, you're going to actually start having early access to a lot of this content we just talked about. I'm going to start providing the V1 versions of the dovetail pole, the best way to build content at scale, and really just getting back into 3D printing because I really enjoyed that when I was doing it. Maybe start going back over to smaller bite-sized chunks of 3D prints like vases, cups, and so forth, and seeing what the community members might want for future prints in this portion of the business model. So to wrap up, my name is Stephen Hauer. This is Rusty Nail Media. I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to be able to help you remove the rust on the day-to-day, some of the more technical things you may be hitting from game development, 3D printing, and a lot of different technical things when it comes to just digital art in general and nailing your dreams. So until next time, take care, guys, and I wish you all the best and don't stop creating.